Hey, what's up? This is Seth Green, and you are listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark, and I am so hot, I would desperately like a glass of water. Please, please, give me some water.
This is Cindy Preston, and I'm with Mark on Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Melissa Peterman from CMT's The Singing Bee and the television show Reba. And I have to tell you, I just have to get it off my chest, I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi there. This is Faith Roscoe from General Hospital. You're listening to Mark on Somewhere in Vegas. And you better watch out. We know how to find you if you're not listening.
Hi, this is Shannon Egan from Whippet, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hey, this is Lee Allen Baker with Somewhere in Vegas, talking with Mark with a Q.
This is Courtney Cronin. You're listening to Somewhere in Vegas with your host, Mark, and I would make sure to listen every week because he's a sure bet.
Hey, this is the Money Man, Eddie Money. I got 2 tickets to Paradise, and it's, you know what? It's Somewhere in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hi, this is Crystal Gale, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Terry Nunn from Berlin, and you're listening to Mark Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Miracle Laurie from Joss Whedon's Dollhouse. There are 3 flowers in a vase, and I'm listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Erin Hill, and you are listening to Mark on Blog Talk Radio and Somewhere in Vegas. Mark is a great guy.
Hi, this is Sean Pulaski. I'm still trying to figure out Mark Pico's sexuality, but I know you're listening to Somewhere Live in Vegas.
Here you go, Mark. I'm sorry. I thought you were she. I'm sorry. Get out of the tent. Let's get out of here.
Hey, this is Lance and Anna from Free Radio. And Anna?
And you're listening to Somewhere in Vegas.
Yes.
My favorite.
You know, that's usually what happens with me. I go to Vegas and I get lost, and so I end up somewhere in Vegas.
Somewhere in Vegas.
But I just don't know where it is.
Not quite sure.
Yeah, word.
Get ready. It's going to be hot. It's in Vegas. Check out Mark. Be there or be square.
My guest at this time is a very talented artist. And the new single out right now is just in time for the holidays, Holly Jolly. It's currently out right now. The new album that, that's a part of it, it's called Roots. It'll be out on November the 27th. He is the artist that's on with us right now. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Now, it's great to be able to have something like a holiday song coming out around this time of year. And, it's always tough to have a holiday song come out, to create one at least and try to really kind of make an impact and really kind of concentrate on the season as what was it were. Tell me a little bit about your processes in terms of making the song.
Yeah, I just go out in nature. I definitely pray a lot. I'm a Christian, and I just love nature, and just those two together. I just think about all the good in the world, and I just want to, just write. I just write lyrics about love, and love is in nature. Love is in just in everything that God creates, basically, and that's how I create the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, tell me a little bit about your writing process as well. I mean, you obviously have a very deep faith in terms of where you're singing from and all that as well. Tell me a little bit about some of the writing processes that you go through when you're writing a song.
Well, I definitely think about my past relationships and just sometimes it's not always the greatest experience, but I always try and turn it around and think about lyrics that really resonate with me and resonate with my story, going through life and developing and growing.
And I mean, is it a situation where sometimes the music comes to you first, or is it the lyrics come to you first? Or tell me a little bit about that.
It's different each time, but definitely the lyrics come to me first because I love the written word. I love reading. I love writing. So definitely it's usually the lyrics. I usually try and think of something that just words that, and for me it always surrounds around the word love, and from that I definitely think of other things to write about. My relationships are definitely a big part of my songs. I sing a lot of love songs. And I just think about, how that love felt for me in particular relationships. And I think of words that really would describe that the relationship that I was, the previous relationships that I was in. And it's different for every relationship, but definitely I just think about my past relationships and words that I would use to describe that person, or describe just describe the what I went through in that relationship.
Now, tell me a little bit about how you got started. Did you how young do you remember singing? And tell me a little bit about your background, how you got started as an artist.
I started definitely. I was always in some type of choir. The church is a big thing in where I'm from. I'm from upstate New York, and we're very big religious people. Then when I moved down here, down to Long Island, New York, it was a little bit different. But that just singing in the choir has always been within me. I started out singing definitely in the church, but also my school choir was a big part of my journey as well. And I just love singing in my school choirs. And I didn't actually take it serious. To be honest, I didn't actually take it seriously up until when I got older, and I was discovered on Instagram by a producer from my hometown. He discovered me, and that's when my whole career changed. And I recorded my first single, Honey, and it did well. It was played on the radio, and then I really started my whole music career.
Now, I mean, did you ever sing any leads in those choirs? And kind of what was it like to kind of be a solo artist, not having the backup of a choir if you did?
I was always, to be honest, I was there just to get the A and then leave. I wasn't really taking it seriously then. It wasn't until I was singing for fun on Instagram, as a soloist, that I really got the confidence to really go out there and be the lead, and that's how my story really went.
How was it for you the first time that you had to perform in front of a crowd?
It was definitely it was definitely. I'm a very warm person. I'm a person who likes to have a performance like you're in my in my living room, and performing. So I definitely make it so that everyone's comfortable, including myself, when I'm performing. So.
Well, I mean, that's great to hear. I mean, it's kind of interesting to be able to talk to somebody that's a Christian artist, and just to be able to have a situation where you really are just you're kind of like almost humble and very, very very comforting, as it were, as an artist as well. I mean, that's great to be able to hear. And tell me a little bit about just being able to be in the studio. I mean, was this the first time you've ever, I mean, obviously you had another album before this, but tell me about some of your experiences the first time you were ever in a studio.
Well, I didn't know how it was going to go, to be honest. That was actually when I was discovered on Instagram by a producer from my hometown. And he said, you sound great, you should go and record a single. And that was like my first time ever in the studio. And I just really honestly, I just winged it because there was nothing that could prepare me for that moment. So I did, and it turned out great, and I'm very grateful that it did.
And I mean, did you go into the studio with some songs that you've already had prepared, or was there any new stuff that you were thinking about when you were going in the studio?
Well, my producer from my hometown, he was he was also a very good songwriter as well. So he actually helped me to develop that my debut single, Honey. And he's a very nice guy. He definitely but I had ideas for a song, but I didn't actually know how to really put them into words. And he helped me, guide me through that process. And from then on, I've been writing my own material outside of the covers that I do. So I'm grateful that he was there to really guide me through that process, the writing process.
Yeah, you mentioned you did a lot of your singing on Instagram and all that as well. I mean, with the feedback that you got from Instagram and all that as well, I mean, kind of did that help you a lot in terms of seeing where kind of where certain songs are going, or and just the support from the fans? Tell me a little bit about just the social media aspect of before you went into the studio and started laying down tracks. What was it like for you to kind of interact with the fans and get some of that feedback?
It was definitely exciting. When you go on Instagram, you never know how it's going to go, and it was definitely very boosted my confidence to be a solo artist. Because you just never know. You're singing on Instagram, you don't know how it's going to be received, and it was received well, and that definitely pushed me in the right direction in terms of just being a solo artist, and knowing that I didn't really need an entire choir, that I could actually hold my own and as a performer.
And with that in mind, I mean, just to be able to have, I mean, you probably had fans, not only locally, but nationally, maybe even internationally as well. I mean, how far what's probably the furthest you think that you've had comments for your music?
Oh, definitely Japan. I definitely have a strong Japanese fan base, and I just put my music out there, and that was seeing those comments, and you actually will see my name is actually my name. HeisTheArtist. My artist name is actually written in Japanese, and as my on Twitter, and next to my the English spelling, and that was actually from a Japanese supporter of mine who actually I had it written in Japanese, but it wasn't actually the how it should have been written in Japanese, and they actually commented and they corrected me and I fixed it. So it's definitely it's definitely exciting to have like somebody from all the way from Japan to really support you, and it's really exciting for me, definitely, to have an international fan base.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, do you still perform once in a while on Instagram or other venues? Obviously things are shut down right now. But a lot of artists are reaching out to social media to be able to perform. I mean, is that something that you've been doing?
I do occasional covers. I would definitely do more in the future. Definitely during this transition. I'm just seeing where things go. I've recorded a lot of like official covers that I put on like iTunes and things of that nature. But I definitely am looking to be be more tangible and be out there more. But I have recorded some covers, live covers for Instagram.
Well, I mean, I say that's great to kind of get you out to your audience and make sure that your audience is out there as well. Do you play any instruments at all?
No, I wish I did though, but no, I don't play any instruments. I briefly took piano in high school, and that's about it. Not anything that I would get on stage and do.
Well, yeah, I mean, still, I mean, have to have, I can't play worth a lick just because I have I'm not very great with my hands. Sorry to say, but I can still sing at least a little bit. So yeah, I gotta perfectly understand that. Now, coming into this album, I mean, what was it kind of the process in terms of selecting tracks and ordering the tracks and all that as well? Can you guys guide me through some of that process?
Yeah, the tracks were actually recorded over a 3-year period, and I just picked the tracks that really resonated with me were acoustic based. Really the story of Roots is just about my roots, living upstate New York in a mountainous part of New York, and remembering my babysitter at the time. She loved country music, and the album takes the audience through my childhood and my roots.
Yeah, and
it's an Americana. Oh yeah, it's an Americana album that mixes country music with soul music, and that's really my roots.
Yeah, I was going to ask about, I think what I was going to ask you about. I was going to ask you about the there were some songs probably that didn't make the album that, obviously you said you over a 3-year